What's up, everyone? I'm out of county. I'm out of county. How's everybody doing? Is everybody okay? Is everybody chilling? All right. How's everybody doing tonight? Hey, Hope. I know, day, night. Hey, Janelle. Hey, Erica, Alice. You guys are in a tribe. It just says Facebook user. But hey, Raquel, Julie, how are you, boo? So right now, of course, I got a little suntan, so I'm a little red in the face. I'm trying to figure out, how do I darken the glow on my display? Shit is a little bit too bright. Let me see. Oh, there we go. I think I'm a little bit better. So, of course, I'll be back later on my page for tarot shenanigans. Tonight, it's Tribe Talk. It'll be myself and some more approved readers. We're going to talk about some shit tonight. We're going to have some real talk, real conversation. So, if you're just looking for tarot, it's not right now. But you're welcome to stay and have a conversation with me. So I am streaming on 3 platforms tonight. We're doing something different. It used to be Freestyle Fridays. And so we changed it and merged. We used to have Tribe Talk with Khadijah and Jesse. And now we have merged the two to Tribe Talk on Fridays. So that's what we're going to be doing on Friday nights for a little bit anyway. About 30 minutes to an hour of talking with you guys, having conversations. Deep conversations. Tonight, one of the questions that I put up there was, where do I start on my spiritual journey? And so I really wanted to touch that part of it because it's such a huge question from everyone that I work with. And of course, I have numerous clients, and that's the question I get asked time and time again is, where do I start on this journey? Because in the beginning, we are so fucking lost, right? We have no idea what we're doing. We have no idea where we're going. We have no idea what to even look at, right? And when you do go to the spiritual store, you don't really have people in the spiritual store who really direct you unless you know what you're looking for. And normally you don't want to ask because you feel kind of stupid. So you're just like, no, I'm just browsing. And then they're like, well, okay, let me know if you need help, So I wanted to talk about that tonight. So you guys who are watching and vibing and want to have a conversation, let's talk about it. What do you guys I'd like to know, how far are you guys in your spiritual journeys? So let me know. Are you 1 year, 2 year, couple months, couple weeks into your journeys? How long have you been open, and what are some of the biggest kind of like confusions that you have right now about your path? Like that's what I want to go to let me know like what is like some of the things um that you're struggling with right now. So this is what we're going to do. I also am going to do something a little bit weird, and people are going to think I'm very weird because I'm going to test some shit out, right? But should anyone want to come on with me and talk about it, I will send you the link. Okay. So let me know. This should be fun. Okay. Yeah. 1.5 years. Okay. So, I always talk about my journey. And a lot of people think I've been doing this for centuries and shit, right? But one of the things I can tell you is my journey started in 2018. I did not truly get into the path, like my purpose, until 2019, summer of 2019, when my like huge spiritual awakening hit me. One of many, one of many. Okay. So if anybody would like to come on, or if you would like to call in, let me know. And we're gonna do something like that too. I'm just testing some shit out tonight. If you don't want to be on camera and you're like, no, I don't want to be on camera, and you would like to call in, I'm gonna give you the business number where you can call in. Of course, I can only take one call at a time, and let's have a conversation. I don't know. I'm doing something weird and different today. Boom. Okay. That looks super big though. Why does that look so big? I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that. I'll periodically put that up there because that's just, oh no, I don't even know what I'm pressing now. So I'm going to put it up for a couple minutes. Should you want to call in and have a conversation, go ahead and do so. And I'll take one caller at a time. So the really thing is just to have, forgiveness of myself. Okay, feeling lost. Hey, Jasmine. Hey, Paige. I don't know if I said hi. Chica Ruth is a scammer, it looks like. So we're going to block the user because they're already saying inbox me for your accurate reading, right? We don't want to keep that shit. Um, so, in the beginning, one of the things that sucks is having to understand that you're going to be lost. Okay. You're going to be lost in the beginning. You're not going to know what the fuck you're doing in the beginning. Okay. You're not going to know how to proceed in the beginning. Okay. So that's one of the biggest things to kind of understand, is that it's okay though. I think in the beginning, we get so stuck on having to know where we're going, right? Because that unknown, unsure kind of energy is not the business. We're like, yeah, no, I'm not there. Nope, don't want to do it. And I think we have to kind of allow ourselves to be lost, because that's the biggest thing of it. The whole spiritual awakening is feeling lost as hell, right? You're like, what the fuck am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing right now, right? I don't know why I'm doing this. I just feel different and I know that I need to go somewhere. So instead of you kind of beating yourself up, allow yourself to be clueless, allow yourself to be lost, because you're finding yourself again. You're dismantling a persona that's not real, right? So you are dismantling this identity that you've had since you were a baby, right? And it doesn't feel good, and you would feel lost, right? Because you have to rediscover who you are in this spiritual path, and the person you are in the spiritual path is quite different from the person you were in your, let's say, 3D reality, right? Because it's all about switching into a different reality. Okay, Marco. Yeah. I think, I think when we think our life is falling apart, I think it's that understanding that those tower moments are pushing us right to where we need to go. So, as uncomfortable as that energy feels, or that moment feels, it's like spirit is like, no, we're trying to move you on. We're trying to get you to where we need to go. And part of that is detaching from the matrix, right? And so you actually have to feel uncomfortable. You actually have to feel that, because if you're comfortable and in that identity, you'll never switch, right? You'll never change. You'll never grow. You'll never move. You'll just sit in the same shit different day. Sarah, I was in jail too yesterday. That's why you guys did not see me live on my page last night, because I was in jail last night. Um, for apparently cracking a joke that it was against community guidelines. But in all honesty, I will give Facebook their credit. Normally, I'm talking shit about Facebook, but if I was Facebook reading my comment, I would think I was threatening someone too, even though we were joking and I knew the person. So, going back to this path of understanding this, spirituality doesn't start off for you to know everything and be the all-knowing fucking, guru and shit. Spirituality comes in a time when you are branching from the cattle, you are branching from the norm. You no longer fit with what society is telling you. So you have to allow yourself to move away from that. You have to allow yourself to explore, Janelle, exactly, to explore, right? Because you're actually trying to figure out who the hell you are now, right? It's different. I know, being in Facebook jail actually is pretty sad, because you can't comment, you can't like post, you can't do anything. You just gotta sit in the sidelines. So anybody else, what other things in the beginning of your path, what have you guys think that you've been kind of going through? Let's talk. What have you going through? What have you think? What are you exploring? Where is it taking you? I would, if I could give myself advice 2 years ago, I would just tell myself to be open. I would just tell myself to be open and expect the unexpected. And those are probably two very big things that I wish somebody would have told me, to just be open and expect the unexpected. I feel like when we come into anything with expectations of what we think it is, then we're kind of like disappointed because, oh, it doesn't have all the pizzazz and fireworks that people say. And I feel like you really have to allow yourself to get in those moments where you see the fireworks, you see the miracles, you allow yourself to feel it and experience it as a fucking miracle, right? All right. Cece's in the building.
What up, y'all? What's up? How's everybody doing this weekend? I like your logo, by the way. I wonder who taught you how to do that.
You know what? I actually knew how to do that because I used to put the StreamYard one up, and I have my Moon Goddess one. I just haven't done it in a while. The other shit I have to play with because I don't know how to do the background, and I'll fix that later on.
You get it. 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 Oops.
Um, Definitely do not be afraid of judgment. You know what? You know what? One of the things that hey Minnesota, one of the things that I realized about judgment is that the reason why we have such harsh judgment in the beginning is because we are extremely harsh and judgmental towards ourselves. So that's why it feels so strong in the beginning. Because if you notice as you're working through this path, you start to be more compassionate to yourself. You start to be more patient with yourself. And in there, you start to be patient and compassionate with others when before you used to have these short fuses and things like that. So the reason why the judgment is so crazy in the beginning is because you are that judgmental towards yourself. And remember, Once you start this path, everything is a mirror, right? So everything coming at you is this fucking mirror, and it's crazy. Okay, so I think that's Margot. Yeah. So I feel like we are finding our true self through awareness. We are shedding layers of walls built because of our surroundings and parents' toxic teaching, understanding that we and everyone around us are imperfect beings, and nothing anyone else does and doesn't do never has anything to do with us. Perfect, exactly. We are, your authentic self is not the identity that you've been living with all your life. That's the crazy thing. We've all had these masks on for all of our lives, thinking that we have to fit in on some way, shape, or form. And I don't care if you were the type of person that was really like, I don't give a fuck what they think. On some level, you gave a fuck. On some level, you cared, right? Rashida says, I'm trying to understand what it means to step in your power. I think it means following your intuition, but not 100% sure. I'll answer, and I'll let Cece kind of answer that also. But for me, stepping in your power is taking your control back. So when I'm telling you guys about reaction and action in a situation, your power is in there. You have the power for you. You have control over you and you only. You cannot control anything outside of you. Okay. Now, there's a couple things with you that you can't control, of course. It's your death, right? You don't really have control over that or when it's going to happen. Not that we know of, right? But everything else of how you react, if I wake up tomorrow, I have the power to be happy, sad, miserable, or fucking content or bored. So you have that power, and that's what taking your power back and standing in your power. The other part about that is just being okay with being you. So if you're a witch, be a witch. If you're a tarot reader, be a tarot reader. If you're a nurse, be the best fucking nurse that you are. It's whatever you are and what is authentic to you. If you like goblins, like the motherfucking goblins. That is what standing in your power is, that no matter what anybody says, you're still going to like and do the things that you like as long as you are not hurting others with your belief system. You said the pink looks like cheesy infomercial. Let's try blue. Let's see. Does blue look better?
It look,
All right, let's see. Hey, Amber. The Matrix is designed for a reason. We come here for an experience, and we get so super serious about life that we forget that. We forget that this is an experience. Oh, Cece, go ahead and answer that before we move forward.
what was the question? What was the question?
It's
What was the?
about what she was saying about
Oh, standing in your
stepping
power.
into your power.
Standing in your power basically is not allowing the negativity to get to you. You know what I mean? Yes, people are going to say their opinions about you, but always remember that it is a reflection of them that when they judge you, okay? To me standing in my power is being who I am, and how you see me is what you're going to get. You know what I mean? I'm not like everybody else. I'm totally different, as you could see. I have a nose piercing. My ears are gauged. I have red hair. I meditate to rock music. I like to stand out and be myself. And that's like the best way you could be, is be yourself, even if it's with pink hair or whatever, whatever makes you happy, like Divine said, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, and you're just being who you are. Yes, people are going to judge you no matter what, but that's where you just don't allow it to get to you. Taking back your
Right.
power is being who you are, being your authentic self. That's taking back your power.
And most of us don't know who our authentic self is. And that's the beauty of walking into your spiritual path, because you get to find who that is. And there is no right or wrong. There's not, oh, take these 10 steps and you got it in spirituality. Spirituality is not conversion. It's really not. Like, people hold on to spirituality as if it's a religion and it's a conversion. And it's not a fucking conversion. It's the ability to believe whatever you want at any time. Should you decide that today I'm a Buddhist, and then you start doing that, and then tomorrow you're like, you know what? I don't really think I'm a Buddhist. I mean, I like some of their shit, but maybe I'll come over here to this other religion, Hinduism. And then it's like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'm not a Hindu, or maybe I don't fly with Hinduism. You know what? Maybe I want to try Wicca today. You know what? Maybe, you know what? Wicca wasn't for me. I was a Wiccan, but it ain't for me. The beauty of it is that most people in spirituality are not judging you because today you're this and tomorrow you're that. You know,
Mhm.
it's crazy because when I was younger, I always looked at stuff from Wicca and Wiccan and witches. But now that I'm in my path now, I'm not called to anything Wiccan or
Mm-mm.
Wicca at all.
Neither am I.
All practices or nothing that are in any sort of type of religious construct. It's
Mhm.
all just free flow with my ancestor energy. So it's crazy that this for me spirituality has become open to where I can practice and try everything and see what calls to my soul, because those of us who do believe in past lives and reincarnation, you have lived several times. This is why different things call to you from different cultures. And you're like, well, I'm not that culture. Why am I so attracted to this particular thing? Well, most likely it's something from your past life calling to you, or it's ancestors, or maybe there's a goddess that wants to work with you. But if you're like, oh my
Mhm.
God, I can't call on this goddess energy or the God energy because there's only one God, there's several energies that you can work with. But I feel like spirituality just kind of opens it up for you to be and find. And the biggest thing is find who you are. You don't need to know
Mhm.
who you are just yet. You in spirituality, I feel like you might test that out, test that out. I mean, you know what? You know what? I don't even like that shit.
Oh, trust me, when I got on my spiritual path, I was in her inbox and I was like, um, is it normal like to meditate to rock music? Is that normal? I'm like, is that even possible? And I would always I had asked her that all the time. I was like, is that possible? She says as long as you feel comfortable, then there's no right or wrong. And she's right, there is no right or wrong. And that's the
Mm-mm.
beauty of the spiritual path is there's no right or wrong.
I think us as human beings, we are taught. Margot made a biggest. She made a big kind of point right now where that journey to connect back with source. And I think one of the biggest things about humans is that we are taught to be disconnected from source or God or Allah, whoever, however you look at that energy. It's all the same. It doesn't matter what you say or the title. I particularly use source or divine energy. That's how I say it. Some people say God, some people say Allah, who, whatever it is, right? But one of the things is from baby, we're taught that we're disconnected from this energy. Like some way we were disconnected, and we're never disconnected. We are always connected to source energy, never separate. And I think that's one of the beauty things about spirituality is that you get to understand that, because unfortunately when you go to religion is teaching you to be out. You got to go through a
Mm-hmm.
priest or a pastor or a pope. You got to go through them before you can talk to God. You got to go through them. And I think sometimes that takes your power away to say like you're a lower level, and you're not a lower level from any of those. I don't care what class they take. I don't care who sanctified them. I don't care who said that they were holier than thou. I feel like you always have to remember that you can speak, connect. You are always connected. There is no you need to connect. You're always connected to that energy. That's why I love spirituality.
Mm-hmm. And with that, like when it comes to like the religions and stuff like that, there's standards that you have to go by. Like being a Catholic or a Christian or a Baptist, there's always that standard that they have to go by. You can't really be your authentic self, you
Right,
know?
right,
And
right.
then of course in spirituality you can be.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm not downing religion, and I don't want no one to ever feel like on my channel that I'm ever downing religion, because I have no beef with religion. I just personally don't see the value for me in it. You know what I mean? Like I've never been called to it. No matter, and I've went to several different. Let me tell you, I went to a Baptist church. I went to a Christian church. I went to a Catholic church. I went to so many different churches, trying to see if it called to me, and it just never did. And I just believe that you have to follow what. in your heart calls to you. Me, I love working with angels and goddesses and ancestors and all kind of energies. And I don't feel like you need a religion for that. I don't feel like you gotta um, repent in that way. And look, I believe Jesus did his thing. I got nothing against Jesus. Okay, nothing against Jesus. I believe he did his thing. But I feel like too many people look for him to be their savior. When we're here on this planet, I feel like you have to be your savior. You have to save yourself. You have to take responsibility in this life. And I think sometimes, unfortunately, religion has take that away to where you look to someone else to save you when you have all the power in your life to change, to grow, and to save yourself. You know,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
and I honestly don't feel like we could ever comprehend the makeup of source energy. I don't think as humans we can ever truly comprehend that energy. We have to say it in our terms for us to understand it. But I think we'll never ever really truly until you enlighten yourself, right? Until you ascend and enlighten yourself, I don't think you'll ever truly understand that how crazy and intelligent that energy is superb over us.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We come here to learn lessons. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't just come for no fucking reason. We're not coming down here for no reason. Like, oh, I just want to go to Earth and be in this 3D physical world just to fucking explore. No, we're coming down here because we want to experience. Some of us chose to experience pain. Some of us chose to experience depression. Some of us chose to experience death. Some of us, death of a loved one. We came down
Mm-hmm.
here with these lessons, not because, oh, you're a fucked up person. Now you got your karma. Although there's some people who come back to repay their karma. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like it's so much more to that though. We come here with lessons. We want to learn. We want to feel what this feels like. Because if you don't come down here, how the fuck do you know how it feels? Because we all know when you ascend, you ain't feeling this shit. We know when you go into spirit world, you're not having these lessons. And you have to come into this 3D form to have these lessons. And I think it's for us to learn how powerful we are, even in these physical bodies. We're limited, but we are not that limited. We can create miracles with our essence if we just understood that. But a lot of people have put us down to where we feel like we're nothing. We feel like we're only human. I'm only human. What can I do? You know, I'm only one person. What can I do?
You could do a lot. You just have to know your power. You could do a lot. You just have to know your power.
Hmm.
The mind is
I
the
was
most
tapping on
powerful
this counter
thing.
too.
Yeah, the mind is the most powerful thing. Why people manifest is very powerful.
Janelle said discounted trip ticket to Earth. One of the things though, you know, Lori, as I used to say the same thing. I just want to learn all my karma this life so I never come back. Guess what? Life karma is not just tit for tat, reap what you sow. Karma is lessons. Your karma is your karma. You know, the biggest thing we get hung up on other people's karma. We get hung up on what other people are doing, what other people are saying, how other people are living. We get so hung up. That's not our karma. It has nothing to do with us unless it is hurting or harming our life, right? So just to be like, man, I hope I get it all in this life so I don't come back. Most likely you'll come back because once you leave here, you kind of get enlightened and you're like, you know what? Maybe I want to go back and experience this. Because apparently we're smarter up there. I don't know. Kristen, you said you pulled a tower. Oh,
And guys, learn the lessons here. Always learn the lessons. We come here, like she said, we come here on earth to learn the lessons. Learn the lessons. That way you don't have to do them again. Learn the lessons. Learn the lessons, release, let go of whatever it is that's hindering within you. I read so many people a day, and it's kind of like the same thing. You have to release negative energy, release it. That way you can ascend and be at a higher vibration, and you can look at things at a different perspective.
you know, one of the things in the beginning of my path, one of my biggest lessons was to surrender. and just believe. And that was very hard for me because the life that I've lived and the pain that I've suffered, I need to see. It's like I need to see it to believe it. And that was one of my biggest things in the beginning. It was so hard for me to go from just believing, trusting, and letting spirit lead, and not fucking understanding where the hell I'm going or how I'm getting there. That was one of my biggest lessons in this path so far, is being just to trust and understand that what's for me is for me and what isn't. The reason we have so much pain is the choices we make, unfortunately. Now, of course, you didn't choose someone to be abusive. You didn't choose someone to molest you. You didn't choose someone to rape you. You didn't choose someone to belittle you. Okay, you didn't make those choices, but how you take what has happened to you in your life is your choice. How you deal with it is your choice. If you never seek help, that's a choice you're making. If you never help others with the information you have, that's a choice that you're making. See, there's a lot of things that happen to us that, yes, we cannot change, but you can change how you take that information in this life. What you learn, do you teach others or do you just keep it and go on about your business? You know, I tell people all the time, your life stories, and you don't think anyone will give two shits, but you guys have been through some stuff and you'll be surprised at what your story will do for someone else just by you talking about what you've been through. Creating a space. A year ago, I created the healing circle. Okay. My healing circle. I know there's plenty of them out there. I ain't going to say like I'm the first one who did it, but I created my healing circle a year ago. And before I created it, one of the things that would go through my mind is, why would anyone come? Why would anyone want to come to my healing circle? And then I did the first one and it was crazy. There was a lot of people in there. And I just, I always do meditation, as I always do. And then I always talk about some of the stuff that I've been through, whatever spirit kind of tells me to say. And it was amazing after that, just saying, does anybody else want to say something or open up and talk? And how many people decided to open up in that one first fucking session? It was like, wow, just fucking wow. You just don't know. Go ahead.
That's so crazy how you said that, because I did the healing circle on a live on Tuesday, and I said the same thing you were saying. You don't, when you tell people your story, you don't know who you're giving courage to open up and tell their story. When they talk about it, they're releasing it again, and basically you talking about your story is taking their fear away. It's like, okay, like she's saying her story. Okay, so I'm not as scared to say anything, you know? So tell your
Right.
story, open up, say what you've been through. Again, like she said, you don't know who's listening. Definitely don't know who's listening.
No.
And it
At,
helps
at one
them.
Right.
Oh,
At one point, Margot, at one point, I agree. You have to stop being the victim. One of the things that blew my mind in early 2020, because remember, I barely started in summer 2019 is where I really started to be in my purpose, right? So early 2020, it blew my mind that I had took this course to do some empowerment because I was getting numbers in my group, the Soul Tribe, and I was like, oh shit, I want to be a better leader because everyone was looking at me like, okay, Divine, where are we going? You're the leader. Where are we going? And I was like, okay, let me take this course because people are following me and I fucking don't know. And spirit's telling me to lead, like follow them. And I don't know where they're taking me. So let me take this course. One of the things that came up was me still being a victim. And I was like, wait, I've been a survivor. Like I'm not a victim. I'm strong and I'm this and I'm that. Oh my God. But it hit me in the face. It hit me like a fucking truck that I was still the victim in my energy. I was still the one who got raped, the one who got this, the one who got that, the one who had shitty parents, the one who had an unfortunate life. I was still in this energy and it hit me so hard. And it was like, fuck. I thought I was being strong. I thought I was this, but I had this fucking wall. And I'll say this was like a fucking armored plated wall around my heart, and I was cold and shut down, even though I was still overly giving to everybody else in my life. And I was still feeling worthless, even though I was in my path trying to start, helping. So it's crazy that it's like you don't really understand. And I say this, and people get mad when I say shit to them because you guys know how I read, but it's like it's gonna hit you. And if it hits you, it hits you because yeah, a
mm-hmm.
lot of us play victim. And sometimes we don't even realize that we're being the victim. It's like,
Yep.
fucking
Yep.
shit.
And I will never forget that reading that she gave me one day that pissed me off to my freaking core because I was healing. I was doing my shadow work and I got a reading from her, and Spirit literally said, "You're not doing the work." I'll never forget, I chucked my phone across the room and I yelled, "What the hell am I not doing?" I wasn't looking at it the way I needed to look at it. And I'll never forget that. And I always remind her, and she always laughs about it.
Right. It's just one of those things, like when it hits you and hits you. In the moment,
Mm-hmm.
you're mad. Because let me
Oh,
tell you,
yeah.
when the other person was on the other side giving it to me, I was fucking pissed. Like I was fucking pissed. And I was crying, and I was pissed. And I was like, who the fuck is this person? Like, they don't know my story. They don't fucking know. But they do know. There's a reason Spirit puts people in your life to say shit to you that are
Mm-hmm.
gonna say the very things that you
Yeah.
fucking one thing I wanted to hit real quick, Rashida said, do you think once we learn a lesson in life, we don't have to experience the same lesson our next life? If you want to answer, if you got some.
No, I feel like no. I feel like once you learn the lesson, you learn the lesson. I feel like you don't carry it into your next life. Now, if you don't learn the lesson, that's something completely different. Of course, you're going to carry that because until you learn, in essence, until you learn.
I feel like it really depends on what's the essence of the lesson, because what we think is the lesson sometimes is not the full lesson. What we sometimes think is the lesson, it's like far from the fucking lesson. You know, one of the things that I struggled in this life was this huge abandonment issue. And one, yeah, I have a little bit from my parents and shit like that, but not as deep
Yeah.
as what I felt it in this life. And even going to past life, doing past life regression, what I thought was the lesson, I was like, oh, okay, let me work on this. And then when I did some more shit, it was like far from that. And it was like, oh shit, like that wasn't even the fucking purpose. So I feel like it just depends what you sign up for. Like we think the thing about us is we want to know it all, right? We're fucking, that's our ego. We want to know it all and we think we know it all. Okay. So we think we have this shit like 100% down. Boom, I got it. I ain't learning this shit again. I ain't coming back here for this shit. But honestly, we don't know what we sign up for. What is our lessons? And I've been murdered in several lives. Do you think that it was like, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to do that again, and then boom, another life, and I'm fucking murdered again? So I don't know if it's that easy to just be like, well, I learned this lesson, ain't going to do it again. I think there's more, way more to the concept and who's involved in.
Yes.
So Brenda said, before I was 12 years old, I was in two accidents. When I died, my spirit instantly left my body and my spirit ascended into the sky, where it felt like forever as I stared down at everyone hustling and bustling to revive her. I was a devout Catholic at the time. The first time was pretty instant. And I felt like my spirit re-entering my body. The second time was a long 6-week coma. When I woke up, I lived with different beliefs than anyone around me. I knew about being a spirit. Yeah, I
Wow.
mean that. I mean it's a sad, but it's like a sad but awesome experience at the same time to actually even remember that, like to remember that's what happened. Angie, muscle pain from overworking out. Are you talking about the rejuvenation crystal? That would be green opal. Chrissy said I did shadow work last weekend, huge energy blockage, needed cleared. Never dealt with the 14-year marriage I walked out on 3 years ago, alcoholic. I'm finally dealing with it. It's painful as hell, but it's cathartic. Letting it out. Karaoke sad songs, abandonment central. I felt like I wasn't good enough for him to choose me over alcohol. Um, I'll kind of say something, and I'll let Cece kind of jump in on that. Chrissy, I will tell you something. I did have two parents who were addicts. My dad was a heroin addict when I was a kid, a baby kid, and turned pills, whatever he could get his hands on. Alcoholic. My mom was an alcoholic since before she had me. Okay. One of the things is that one of the belief systems that I gave myself, and remember, we create belief systems in our minds. So one of the belief systems that I created from a child up was that I wasn't good enough for them to change. Like I wasn't good enough, right? You have that abandonment, like I'm not good enough for these. They don't love me. Their alcoholism has nothing to do with you. Nothing, absolutely nothing to do with you. And no matter how much you love somebody, that love is never, ever, 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 ever going to change them. People only have problems like addiction when they are masking the true trauma inside them. And if they don't fucking learn how to deal with that, no one is going to help them. No one can help them. So that's one of the things that I had to learn in this spiritual path with healing is that my parents actually did the best that they could with me, and their trauma was their trauma. And it's crazy that I had to open up a lot of shit to see their trauma to be like, oh shit. Like I've been judging my parents for a very long time, but they're carrying their fucking demons, and they did the very best they could with those demons. And that was something I had to swallow. It's not easy because remember, we've been the victim our whole lives. I've been the victim from a child like these parents. But when you sit and really look at it, you're like, oh shit, this actually had nothing to do with me. It wasn't that I was a horrible child. It wasn't that they didn't love me. It's that their demons were so fucking horrible that that's all they could do was mask that shit.
Hmm.
I don't know if you want to add to that.
Um, I've been through the same similarities, a little bit, a little different too. My parents, they were always so selfish. They always did their own thing, and I would always try to be in a relationship because since I didn't feel the love from them, I wanted to feel the love from somebody else. And little did I know, when you go through the traumatic experience of losing somebody that means the world to you, that was basically there like your mother, you try to find the love in other things to fill the void. Um, I'm an ex drug addict. I used to do drugs when I was a little bit younger. I used to do them for years because for the longest time I thought that I needed that to help me fill a void. I wasn't trying to face no pain or trying to not face anything. I just wanted to be numb my whole life and just not not feel a thing.
Mhm.
And it was like the most hardest thing, but when you just wake up one day, I woke up one day and I told myself I can't do this anymore. What am I gaining from doing this? Nothing. I'm losing everything. And I did lose everything. I lost my family. I lost my ex-husband. I lost, everything. I was literally in a room all by myself and telling myself, what am I gaining from this? Nothing. And I woke up, I threw all my stuff away, and I said, I'm done.
Right.
You guys
Janelle,
can definitely do everything if
Janelle,
you
you
put
said,
your
why
mind
do
to
you
it.
think someone given like a huge shoves like that to know? Let me know what you mean so we can talk about that. Thank you, Brenda, for the kudos. You know, Chrissy, I see what you're kind of saying. Your comments of, hey, Elizabeth, um, one of the things is we hear the term narcissist a lot, right? This
Yeah,
fucking term like thrown around, boop, 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 boop. Everybody's a motherfucking narcissist,
I
right?
agree.
And not that I don't think that there are narcissists, okay? I do know that there's definitely so many spectrums of people. One of the biggest things, and people always say, well, when you're an empath, you automatically bring narcissists in because how they feed on your energy, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to tell you one of the biggest things I fucking have learned with this narcissist shit. In every situation, people that magnet to you like a fucking magnet that come in are people that need to show you a lesson, right? What is the biggest lesson to learn with a narcissist? Is how to stand in your power and stop taking shit. Stop allowing someone to treat you like shit. Stop allowing someone to tell you who you are. It is to empower you, it's not to break you. But unfortunately, we never see that. What we do is we let it break us and break us and break us until we're these little tiny people, and then we never believe in ourselves. It's never to, if you think about the concept and we're talking about lessons, you know, God, Allah, source energy is never really going to push us into these situations to be broken down. But if you don't stand up for yourself, then you sit in this energy with a narcissist, right? Until one day it's like, no, fuck that. Something inside you says enough is enough. I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Good, Elizabeth. Good. I think we all have narcissistic traits,
Oh
Lori.
yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you why. The same thing that we say is how you mirror and attract somebody into your life, right? And a lot of people get very mad when I say this, like, no, that's not me. That's the no, okay. You on some level are attracting this person into your life. On some level, you got this shit in your soul somewhere. So if we are attracting like law of attraction, everything that's in our soul, what our true, what we got going on, how are you not seeing what what you're doing? Okay, on some level,
Mm-hmm.
we like it. You're not ever going to say in a situation that you don't like if you don't really like it. There's some adrenaline rush. There's something you get out of it. Same way we look at a drug addict, right? That gets
Yeah.
fucking pressured to ODing. And you're like, why do you keep taking yourself there? Like, why the fuck would you push yourself to that
Because it's
point?
a rush. It's a rush.
Same shit.
Yeah. I agree.
We
I
live in a
agree.
fan we live in a fantasy most of the time. We create a fantasy most of the time of what life is for us. And most of the time we are choosing to live in denial. We're choosing to see what's right in front of us every day. So it doesn't matter if it's a drug
Mm-hmm.
addict, doesn't matter if it's a narcissist, doesn't matter if it's an abuser, it doesn't matter anything. You are in the situation because on some level you're enjoying it in this moment. And I don't say enjoy like, oh, we
Mm-hmm.
party, we, no, but on some level, you are in,
Mm-hmm.
there's something that's keeping you attracted, and the rush or the drama, something about it
Mm-hmm.
is
Yeah.
keeping you in that situation. And that's the harsh truth that we have to sit back and own up to. That is the harsh truth. And until you're ready to see that shit, you're not going to leave.
Mm-hmm. And then, people tend to say, "Oh, we're together because of the kids." No. I feel like you're using the kids as an excuse because you like the rush and you don't want to admit it.
You know, one of the things with my daughter's father, and he's the last man that I lived with, which that was back when in barely 2000s, I think we split up. So I haven't lived with a man since then. But even with him, we would go through the push and pull, the arguing, the makeup, the back to the same shit. On some level, I like that dramatic effect of breakup makeup with me and him. There was something about that that kept me in the flow of it until I started to see my daughter's reaction as she got older now. She was about 3 when I left him, but to see her always crying, holding on to me in the middle of us arguing, that is when it finally was just like, I'm about to become my parents, because we were getting to that point where we probably were going to start hitting each other. You know what I mean? Like it was getting to that aggressive point. So at some point, you have to sit and you have to take that ownership. You could say whatever you want about the other person, but you are choosing to be in this situation. So you have to take part owner ship of the situation. It can't always be that the other person. And let me tell you, as much as I believe in dark, lower energies, they're there. I believe in them. They're there. I don't believe in them like I pray to their asses, but I know that they're there. One of the biggest things are they're not going to come for you unless you're at a lower vibration. Lower vibration fucks with lower vibration. The higher you raise your vibration, the less shit you have to fucking deal with, the less people come into your life. And that shit is that whole law of attraction. You match what your soul is, you match
Mm-hmm.
what your energy is. This is why they say, look at your friends. Who's your friends? Who's the people that you got around you? Who's standing next to you? Are they shitty people? Are they dramatic people? Are they conniving people? Are they thieving people? Because best believe if you're hanging around with people like that, what is in your soul?
Mm-hmm.
What says about you?
Yep.
Janelle says, oh, like to die and come back with different perspective instead of like a simple choice, like to change. I think it's all experience. So if I'm in essence, let me see, I'm this intelligent being that knows nothing about pain, death, any of that, right? And the whole
Karma.
point is to come here and to experience it. I mean, that's how I see it. I see it's to come here. Now, is there some harsh shit that happens when we're here? Fuck yeah. You think I like in this person who I am, I don't feel like I would ever sign up to come here and be 15-year-old, be a 15-year-old who would lose their child, okay? Who would lose their baby. I don't think in all of the right mind and essence of myself, I would ever choose that. Can I specifically say that I didn't choose that? I can't say that. I can't say that. Did I know it was probably going to pan out like that? Who the fuck knows, you know? But there's something about that we come to experience certain things. But that experience that I had, as dramatic and fucked up it had most of my life, probably 20 plus years, part of that led me to my path and who I am today and what I do in my path, and choosing to open back my heart after that devastation that tore me the fuck apart for like 2 decades plus, you know. I think we come here to be great and experience, and then that experience helps others. And I feel like that's the ripple effect behind all of our traumas. If we can see it in that way, I feel like we always can be better people in what we do. But if we never see it and we're always the victim and poor me and life sucks, then we just keep creating the negative energy in life. But that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of how I see it anyway.
Yep.
I don't like when people use Chrissy. So I really don't like when people are always like the devil, the devil, the devil. One of the things
Mm-hmm.
is you have got to understand we are dark. Let me tell you guys, we are dark. It ain't the devil in everybody's ear whispering. We have
Yep.
darkness inside of us. We are created with both light and dark. The sooner that you realize this, as fucked up as it sounds, the easier life gets for you. Because not only do you take responsibility for your darkness, because let me tell you, I know how dark my shit could get. I choose to stand in the light though. No one, no money, no nothing can buy me that I would go over to that darkness. But not everybody's like that, because when we come here, ego gets in the way. Our persona gets in the way. Society gets in the way. So a lot of people, we say, oh, they're pure evilness. Now, some people, let me tell you, they are. Some people are demons. Some people are walking fucking demons, right? But a lot of people are just soaking in the power of their own energy, their own darkness. As fucked up as it sounds,
Yeah.
some people are just in that darkness, because you always have a choice in this life. You can choose to stand in that light, or you can choose to go in that dark. Anybody who's been in their dark knows, you know that you are dark, and you have beat yourself up for fucking years because of that
Yep.
darkness. And you have
Yep.
talked down on yourself, and you have felt like shit for going to that darkness. But then somewhere around this path, you choose to get into the light, and you let all that shit go, because you know that it is a part of you no matter what.
And that's a lot where shadow work comes into play. So when you do your shadow work, you are learning how to work with your dark side. You're learning how to balance your light and your dark. And that's where a lot of the times where people tend to lose their battle to their own life, and they commit suicide because they are too much in their darkness and they don't know how to come out.
One of the things about like the tarot cards, right? And we look at
Yeah.
the tarot card, and we have, it's called the devil, but on the tarot card, it's actually not a devil.
No.
It's a goat god. And all the goat god does is show you your darkest desires. It is up to you to say, do I want it, or don't I? There's no
Mm-hmm.
force in that energy. It is all about what you choose in that moment. So you, like I said, it's all about, and once you start to understand that more, you're like, oh shit, damn, crazy,
Mm-hmm.
but it's true. Hey, Angela.
Hey, Angela.
Sorry, going down the
See?
comments.
No, you're good. Look, see, does this look like a devil? This is a man. This is the devil.
Right. It's not the devil made me do it. And this is the old school ways of thinking that it's just a devil and angels on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
That concept is because we both carry light and dark. We have our higher self and we have our shadow side. And those two combat. Because in a moment of something happening, you can either be triggered and react, or you could be in your higher
Yeah.
self and not. It is all up to you. And there's times where you're like, no, fuck this. I want to react in this moment. Your higher
Yes.
self. But your higher self, the lighter side of you, gives no fucks what anybody thinks, is not trying to prove themselves, ain't trying to get their point across, doesn't care what you believe in. It's like love and light to everybody. Now your shadow side is like, say something else again, and you gonna see the effects of the
Yes.
shit.
But when you react again, guys, that's a trigger. That's a trigger that you need to figure out where it's coming from when you react. Like there was one time she was live and somebody went in her comments, started talking shit to her. Well, there I go. Started talking shit. But it was
Right.
because when I was little, no one defended me. So that was basically my older self having a reaction to wanting to go protect my inner child, to go protect that little girl. So that's why I reacted. And I didn't realize that till after. Gave it a little bit of time and I thought about it. And that was one of the reasons why I reacted.
Right. Good night, Margot. No, you guys are good. The whole point of this show is to talk about this shit, to bring up some points and talk about it. One of the things that a lot of people stray away of just having these conversations. And there's so many new people in our group that we want to give them some advice, things that they're struggling with. There's tons, thousands of people struggling with the same things. And we have had the opportunity, I'll say, to go through and work through a lot of this shit already. you know um that's why we were saying go in the corner. No worries, you guys can always watch the rest of it. I am going to end it because I want to keep it on a time frame. It's already been an hour. But thank you guys for coming, and we're going to do this every Friday. I'll have a topic or someone will be here. I think next week, actually, Cece will be hosting next week. I might join, I might not, I don't know. But we'll have a topic, and we want to start talking about what we're going through. What are you guys struggling with? Like I said tonight, one of the biggest questions is, where do I start in this path? And I'm going to tell you, the best advice I can give you is allow your heart to guide you. That is the center and connection to source energy, God energy, Allah energy, however you look at that energy. Allow your heart to guide you. And of course, my inbox is open. CC's, any one of the approved readers. CC, we all say our inbox is open. Of course, I try to get to you guys as fast as I can because y'all know my inbox is crazy. But of course, I'm not going to make you guys book to ask me one fucking question. Just be patient of me getting back to you, But just understand, this is what these talks are for us to enlighten each other. I'm never going to sit on this panel and think I know it all. I am open to learn every day. Spirit shows me new shit every fucking day. But what I do know and what I have experienced, I have no problem with sharing it with you guys in this tribe so that we all can move to our next levels, whatever that may be, so that you stand in your path and you be very strong and comfortable with learning and opening up and whatever the fuck you want to do, right? Thank you so much, Angela. Thank you guys for the kudos. Angie, if you want to be a
Angie,
leader.
you can reach out to me or to Jessie Lee, and we'll take care of you.
So Jesse's off tonight. Don't reach out to her. Reach
You
out
can
to
reach out to
Cece.
me. Reach out to me.
Or Oracle Empress, if you know who Oracle Empress is, and they can discuss and go over the guidelines and stuff like that. So I'm not doing that anymore, you guys. I have beautiful admins for that. But I do appreciate all the love, you guys. And, you guys do show us a lot of love, and you guys do support us hugely. We are way over 8K. We're gonna be at fucking 10K in no time. That'll be our next milestone, is to hit that 10K. And when we get to that 10K, we will have a party again. Okay. All right. Good night, you guys. Love and
Good
light
night,
to you all.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.